Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Dyer from On the Hot Podcast. Today, I have some bonus content for you guys. The bonus content we'll be covering today will be in the sport of football inside the NFL world. In today's bonus segment, I'll be sharing my thoughts on which teams I do believe are heading into a must-win scenario for Week 3 in the NFL season. So, with Week 3 on the horizon, or actually Week 3 underway after the New York Jets defeated the New England Patriots last night 24-3, I'll be sharing the following teams that I do believe are heading into a must-win scenario this weekend in the NFL. So, teams, first two teams actually on my list, it's the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens, when the Ravens fly to Dallas, that game is going to be America's game of the week. But both of these respective teams actually are in a must-win scenario. The Dallas Cowboys are coming off a devastating 25-point loss to the New Orleans Saints at home, and the Baltimore Ravens are coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Las Vegas Raiders. So this has a lot of anticipation. There's going to be a lot of animosity for both teams heading into this game in a must-win scenario. I mean, especially for the Baltimore Ravens, they started off 0-2, and actually since 2015, fewer than 11% of teams have made the postseason after starting off 0-2. So 0-3 start could possibly be a deal breaker for the Baltimore Ravens in terms of postseason. But I want to see that if the Dallas Cowboys can stop the run. Or I want to see if Derrick Henry, the Ravens can finally get the run game going, get Derrick Henry going. I think the X factor in this game is going to be Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons has to hold his defense accountable like he likes to talk and chirp on his podcast. Get the defense motivated, stop the run. And I want to see you have one of the best games of your NFL career at being a dominant pass rusher. I want to see Micah Parsons take a part of this Ravens vulnerable offensive line. Micah Parsons should be set up on the left side of he should be the left edge rusher for this game. I think he could find a lot of success getting home to Lamar Jackson, creating a lot of pressures and possibly getting a lot of sacks. I think this is going to be the best game of the weekend. Hands down, I do believe that Cowboys or Ravens game is going to be a very good game based off of what these teams need to prove for the remainder part of the season. This is a very important, very crucial game for these two respective teams heading into Week 3. Now, the next team on my list is the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are in a must-win scenario against the New Orleans Saints this Sunday and for Week 3 because the Eagles failed to win their Monday Night Football game against the Atlanta Falcons, a game they were very comfortable. They were in a comfortable spot, I should say, in the fourth quarter, and they had that game. They should have won that game without AJ Brown. At one point in the fourth quarter, the Eagles had a 97% chance of winning that ball game. Obviously, we all know the 3rd-and-3 call when the Falcons burned their final timeout, and the Eagles failed to convert that. They had to settle for the field goal, which led to Kirk Cousins having that huge game-winning drive on Monday Night Football. But now the Eagles got to turn around 6 days later and play this red-hot New Orleans Saints team that has scored a total of 91 points in the first two games when they played the Carolina Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys. And they scored on their first 15 drives of the NFL season. So Clint Kubiak, Derek Carr, and company, this Saints offense is no joke right now. And I think Jalen Hurts needs to prove something to me when this team plays the New Orleans Saints on the road this week. Because Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles have actually, dating back to last year, they've actually lost their last 7 out of 9 ball games. This team is not where it needs to be in terms of being a contender to me just yet. They got to get a big win against the New Orleans Saints this Sunday, or that could hurt their confidence moving forward for the remainder of the NFL season. So I think that game is something to look forward to if the Saints can start off 3-0, or if the Eagles can finally get back on track and defeat a red-hot New Orleans Saints team that has a physical offense and a physical defense going on right now in the NFL. And last game, I should say the final two teams I do believe needs a victory, and they play each other. It's when the Lions take on the Cardinals on the road. The Lions heading into Arizona to play the Cardinals this weekend. I think both teams are heading into a must-win scenario, the Lions and the Cardinals this weekend, because both teams right now are 1-1. I believe it's a must-win for these two teams and their respective divisions, for the Lions being the NFC North and the Cardinals being the NFC West, because the Cardinals could, this is a hot take, but the Cardinals could possibly take full charge of this NFC West division due to the injuries right now. I mean, the 49ers are banged up. Christian McCaffrey's going to miss time. Deebo Samuel's going to miss time. George Kittle is ruled out for this Sunday. Then you look at the Los Angeles Rams. Cooper Kupp is banged up. He's out. Puka Nakua's on IR. Hey, don't sleep on the Arizona Cardinals now. Don't sleep on them. They could possibly take over in this NFC West with some teams banged up. And then for the Detroit Lions, they just came off of a heartbreaking loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home last week, a game that they really should have won if Ben Johnson just called a better game offensively. But now you got to think, in this NFC North, things are starting to pick up. Jordan Love was supposed to miss at least 4 to 6 weeks with this MCL sprain. It looks like if he doesn't come back this week, he could come back the following week. And then look at the Minnesota Vikings. They're starting off 2-0 red hot. Sam Darnold looks pretty damn good and Kevin O'Connell's offense. Then they just beat the San Francisco 49ers last weekend. Look out. These two teams need a win this weekend in terms of jockeying for position in their respective divisions. That's also a game to look out for too this weekend. Jared Goff going head-to-head against Kyler Murray in the NFC this weekend. So those are the following teams I do believe are heading into a must-win scenario for Week 3, that being the Cowboys, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Lions, and the Cardinals. I do believe are heading into must-win scenarios this week for NFL Week 3, this early in the NFL season. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off, and I'll see you guys on next week's episode.